Everybody has no doubt seen the photo and heard the words of Aiden Hutchinson and his response to what the Detroit Lions do. Does he think the Detroit Lions are going to trade for Myles Garrett? This was during an interview on Radio Row. It's where it's like a giant warehouse or a giant section where it's nothing but radio personalities, TV personalities. I mean, Stephen A. Smith, Cam Newton, Mila Kimes, a ton of folks were there talking to individuals, players who are not in the Super Bowl because those players are elsewhere, but from team obligations to player obligations or PR people putting it together. Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery were two of the I know those two were interviewed. I don't know if anybody else was there, but they were there on behalf of Bounty, I believe it was. So it was several players there from the Detroit Lions, and Aiden Hutchinson was there as well. And when he was asked about the possibility of him teaming up with Myles Garrett, here's what he had to say. This is coming from SI.com. Shout out to those guys over there who have their own YouTube channel, by the way, Detroit Sports Podcast. They have their own YouTube channel. It's about time. Hutchinson says, prior to the event, the former number 2 overall pick was asked by the Detroit Free Press about the trade rumors swirling around Cleveland Browns defensive lineman Myles Garrett. He said, "You can't have that many dudes on one D line. I don't know. Who knows? But I think it's very unlikely." Well, I'm not really tripping on Hutch. No disrespect, but fans could know more about a particular situation than the players do. If you go back and you look at it at the St. Brown Brothers podcast, Amon-Ra has no idea how many draft picks we have. He has no idea the cap space. We know more than most of the players because that's what we do. What they do is play football, stay in shape, eat right, those things. Who pays whom is not their concern. So I'm not really taking what Aiden said here as anything. Like, I'm taking it with a grain of salt. Is no big deal to me. I don't think that means that he is afraid that he won't get paid, or if that many guys on the D-line. I mean, Hutch might not even know who's under contract next year because Levi not under contract next year. We don't know when Aleem McNeil is going to be able to play. Marcus Davenport not under contract next year. So I don't think Aiden truly knew what he was saying. But he could also be referring to the fact that he's about to get a deal. People are expecting Hutch to get north of $30 million, which by far would make him the highest paid defensive lineman in the NFL. I think he was well on his way to getting there, and maybe some think that he could be talking about a money situation. I don't think that's it at all. I think that he just doesn't know. That's not what he does. So I'm not really tripping on that. Now, keep in mind, that was leading up to the NFL honors when the people are awarded MVP, Coach of the Year, that nonsense. So that was before, that quote from Hutch was before the NFL honor event. Check this out. This is what happened, what you see after. Now, this is coming from Steve White. I don't know if he took this photo, somebody took it and sent it to him, but this photo was taken with Aiden Hutchinson, our guy right there, Jared Goff, soon-to-be girl dad, and Myles Garrett. Now, a lot of people are wondering what was being said during this. I'm sure they talked about a lot, but I have somebody on the inside. They were on the red carpet, and they have a listening device that allows them to kind of spy on people a little bit. And they reached out to me prior to the event, and they said, "Hey, Derek, I got this super high-tech listening device. If any Detroit Lions are there, would you like me to kind of zoom in and figure out what they're saying and hone in?" I'm like, "Absolutely." You know what I'm saying? He said, "Keep it confidential." I said, "No problem. I can do that." And here's actually what was said by this whole crew. Aiden says, "Imagine you and me on the D-line." Myles says, "Bro, that would be nasty. Hopefully Brad gives maximum effort to make it happen." And what about Jared Goff? What did he say? He said, "I definitely reworked my contract for that to happen. Oh, Aiden, I forgot to tell you, you're going to be an uncle." So that was just a little bit, and then he cut it off. He was only allowed to get just a few seconds, maybe 10 to 15 seconds of audio so that he doesn't attract the police, the camera crew and stuff like that that's there. That was just a little bit of the dialogue that was coming from there. Now, before anybody goes down some conspiracy theory or something like that, obviously I'm joking. Obviously I made that whole thing up. I like to have fun. It keeps the channel fresh. It's in my personality to joke around. So hopefully nobody thinks that I'm serious, but that would be crazy, right? That would be crazy. That's what I caption the conversation as going. But look at this, man. Look at this conversation. They're all smiling. Look at them cheeks over there. Look at them cheeks. Look at them cheeks right there. Them cheeks, everybody smiling. Jared Goff, Aiden looks like this to me. That doesn't look like the face of a man that's talking about too many dudes on the D-line. That looked like the face of a man. Jared looked like he just happy to be there. Like, yo, man, imagine. Aiden looked like, yo, if you play on this team, it's a wrap. We would probably catapult to the best defensive line, top 3. It would be hard to overcome the Eagles. We still got a lot of work to do, but we would at least be top 5 if our defense would change drastically if this was truly to happen. So let me know what you think. What do you think was said during this conversation? I think it's a lot. You can make up anything you want. But as far as Hutch and his words, I'm not tripping on that at all. The salary cap is going to go up. But perhaps Jared Goff could rework his contract. I mean, St. Brown, there's a lot of ways that you can make money. You can make money. And you can also push money down the road. A lot of teams are doing that. And for everybody talking about us breaking the bank, if you go and you look at the salary cap, and the fact that it's going up. But if you look at how Brad Holmes has done contracts, there's a lot of kick down the road salary cap situations, a lot of them. And here's the thing about that I keep trying to appeal to people when it comes to selling the farm, mortgaging the future. If you watched Myles Garrett interviews, if you kept up with any of them, there's one thing that's abundantly clear. He wants to win it all. He does not care about money. On the Rich Eisen show, he said it was not about money. It's about winning the Super Bowl. And that's what it's about for him. It is not about anything else. Myles he has a ownership in the Cleveland Cavaliers. So the brother's not hurting for money. That's 100% facts. He wants to win. Now, are the Detroit Lions the team to compel him to come there? I think you could argue that they're top 5. I don't know. To me, of course, the fan in me, we did a video breaking down why I think the Detroit Lions should be the number 1 destination for Myles Garrett, but those are just my thoughts. But I could also see a different scenario where they're not. You have some people don't like Jared Goff. Myles Garrett spoke about a game manager quarterback and how you can win with those guys, but a quarterback like Jaden Daniels is kind of where the NFL is evolving to. He didn't say those words, the latter half of that. But Jared Goff type quarterback is going out of style. But then you got this right here. And let's say that he was just kind of thinking those type of things. Like, man, I don't know if I want to play with Jared Goff. The dude is a statue. I would rather play with somebody mobile. Jaden Daniels, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, one of those guys. Then he meets JG. Congratulates him on becoming a father, soon to be, and Jared wins him over. And like, you know what? And to be honest with you, I don't know if that's a truly a big deal, because if you think about it, Jared Goff was in top 5 MVP voting. It was Lamar, it was Josh first, Lamar, Saquon, whoever else was 4 is slipping me right now, and then Jared Goff. So for all of and Jared Goff is the only kind of pocket passer out of all those, all the players mentioned. So I even think Patrick Mahomes was a lower vote than Jared Goff. So maybe that's not an issue for Myles. Maybe Jared Goff, and honestly, it really is hard to get in anybody's head, but I could imagine him being a little bit little hesitant, but at the same time, Jared Goff has done something that he hasn't. Jared has gone to a Super Bowl, going against one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So, and that's more than Myles can say about his team and even the other teams he could be looking at. The Washington Commanders just keep popping up as a team that is going to be on the radar. And I'm like, we cannot let that happen. The Philadelphia Eagles are another team that, according to Dan Orlovsky, who might not be the best quarterback, might not have the best takes, but I think the man knows his stuff for the most part. And he said that Jalen Hurts is the biggest cap hit. I didn't go fact check this, but I'm just going by what he said, that Jalen Hurts was the biggest cap hit for the 2025 NFL season. So they could have the money to pay Myles Garrett. That, to me, would be unfair. If he goes there, it would be unfair. And I could see that maybe being a thing, especially if they win the Super Bowl. But then if they win, you're like, okay, they win. Now they're trying to go back to back. If they lose, you're like, okay, I can take them over the hump. So I would love to see the Detroit Lions shoot their best shot, maximum effort, 110% to try to get Myles Garrett to come to the Detroit Lions. And I could also see this right here going a long way. And like I said, this doesn't look like a man that's worried about a bunch of guys on the D-line. Aiden Hutchinson does not, he's not into money like that the team structure, you asked the dude a question, and I really don't think Hutch knows who's even on the team next year. Because our D-line, we can sign a lot of depth pieces. We can bring back Levi if we wanted to for depth. We got Muhammad for depth. We could bring some other guys for depth. I mean, we could bring back Marcus Davenport for depth. As a starter, nope. We are hit. We are absolutely fried. Mekhi Wingo is not going to be. Our starters right now is Hutch and DJ Reader, because Alim McNeil will not start the season. We got 2 people on the D-line. So I'm going to give Hutch a pass. I really don't think it's that big of a deal what he said, but let me know your comments down below. And this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. And what I just did is bought some merchandise, got some stuff made for the NFL Combine. Everybody have seen by now as I drop it, my kind of badge that I had made to wear to the Combine. I was hoping it was a little bit bigger, but they did tell me it was the size of a credit card, but I don't know what I was like, I don't know what I was thinking. But I also ordered 4 pieces of gear, and I am excited I was debating on whether or not I'm going to tell you or just show you that they will probably be here relatively quick, and I am excited to see how they turn out. Embroidery was a little more, but that will be on my list as well. Maybe you had to buy a minimum of 6 to get them embroidered, and I'm like, yo, I really, really like that. But I don't know if I might get 6 and then maybe give some away a little later. But yeah, merchandise, I want to do a couple tests and see good companies and things like that before I start selling this stuff, man. But I'm excited. Shout out to the big homie, one of the big homies. I got a couple big homies, but shout out to one of the big homies that did the logo design and stuff like that. I appreciate what everybody does. That's why I say that this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.